Let's get started actually putting your essay together. To start out, there's no set format for this essay. You can kind of arrange it however you want to, but it needs to include the following things. There needs to be a personal experience. This can be your small moment that you've already wrote about. Again, it's not plagiarism because you prepared it for this assignment. You need one outside source. This can be straight from your summary. You will need to probably add some more explanation besides just the summary. So explaining how that summary relates to your personal experience. You can use other outside sources as well. And then you also need a conclusion that brings the personal experience and the outside source together and shows their relevance. This is like the biggest part of your essay, this kind of your conclusion, where you discuss how these two things fit together. How does your personal experience and your research lead you to a new definition of whatever term or word that you're trying to explain to your work audience? I cannot stress that enough, that that is the main purpose of this essay, is to synthesize and explain how those two things relate. You need to draft a thesis statement for this assignment. Here are some samples. Part-time work for high school students can provide many benefits. However, lower grades can be a result of this balance of time. I am here to tell you why it is the exact opposite. Management is cruel and employees are miserable and it's filthy on the inside. And then the last one, being an assistant teacher is not the cushy, easygoing job that everyone thinks it ought to be like. Rather than just playing with and holding the children, being a teacher at Rainbow Child Care Center is about messy cleanups, disobedience, and constant accountability. Now, these are pretty good thesis statements. As far as the one that I think is the best, I would say it would probably be, I'm going to use my little circle tool here, this one, because it's pretty clear. I know that they're going to be talking about the issues that they have with management. This one has a lot of components. This one I think is very straightforward and to the point. Here's a sample outline, and you might want to pause this part and refer back to it as you are working on your essay. You want to start out with a hook, which for this essay will be your small moment. And then you want your thesis statement, and that pretty much is going to be your introduction. If you want to expand your small moment for the essay, you certainly can. You can add more to it. Then you want to go into sort of explaining the situation that you experience in your workplace. So if we were to go back to that thesis statement that talked about management, they would go into explaining the issue with the management that they have at their workplace. They'll talk about what's happening, how you see the problems at your place of employment, what are some things that'll happen long term if this type of thing continues. Your essay doesn't have to be something negative. It could be something positive. So if you were talking about gratitude, you would explain like how you see other examples of gratitude at your place of employment. You would also talk about what would continue to happen if gratitude continues, or if that behavior were to change, what would happen. The third paragraph, you can list more examples from the workplace of the problem, talk about another experience you've had, or maybe another experience you've had at another place of employment. Other times you've observed the issue, so maybe you talk about a coworker and their experience. And then you want to go into your research, so your summary assignment, other research if you want. You can also like include research throughout. So maybe you want to put like some research here, or maybe you want to include some research here. You can. It doesn't have to just be in this fourth paragraph. And then you want to go into your conclusion. So what are your suggestions for this issue? And then this is the most important part right here. Right here. Based on your experience and research, what is the new definition of this word or concept? You could include the dictionary definition and then explain how your definition differs based on what you've experienced and what you've researched. This should be a significant part of your conclusion, probably like 2 to 3 paragraphs. I'll abbreviate. Restate your thesis and then close with an anecdote, something that is going to make your reader remember your paper. So use this outline as a guide as you are going through your essay. Email me with questions or post on the discussion board with questions, and I'll be happy to assist. Lastly, I want to show you how you need to set up your paper. You need a running head over here, and I'll provide some videos to show you how to do this. You need your name, my name, the class, and the date. The date does need to be in this specific format. Make sure that you spell the professor's name correctly. Just a little FYI for this class and for others. You will need a title for this paper. The title should not be Essay of Ideas, but you should actually think of a creative and catchy title for your paper. Each paragraph needs to be indented. If you just hit the tab button, it will indent on its own. Make sure you use Times New Roman and a 12-point font for this essay, and you should be good to go.